What the fuck is up, Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to another video or show, where the fuck you want to call this, established pass. I haven't dropped a video in a while. Decided to drop one. I made some thumbnails out about shit over a month ago. Never got a chance to drop any of the videos. But anyways, before we get started, do what I always tell you, dude. Hit that sub button. Excuse me. Hit that notification bell. You can follow me on them places. Dallas Cowboy on the scroll bar, if you can see, if you're just listening. Dallas Cowboys U1 on X. I got a Facebook group I started last year that never really took off, which I don't want a big group anyways, but I want it bigger than it is now. It's called Dallas Cowboys Chat. But you can find me on Spotify, Apple, and I think Anchor kind of sends it out to a few more places. I don't know exactly how many. But anyways, it's about 3 days before training camp. Unlike some fans keep saying, before we get on the Dak contract subject, that they're not really up for the season. Y'all are. Y'all say y'all ain't, but I'm telling you right now, that first fucking game, if we fucking lose, I want to hear the same people like, I don't care about this season, crying about fucking us losing. And if we win big, I can fucking, everybody's going to be fucking all happy. So it's that Green Bay game killed all of us, and the lack of free agency. I'm going to do a video on this too. The lack of free agency and pick us up and us losing players, I think it's got everybody down and in the dumps. But it's football season. We're 2 days away from the kicking off, so we're going to be okay. But anyways, about Dak's contract. I've been saying for a while, they're going to sign Dak. I put out one other day that they'll sign him by week 2. If you say there's no way he signs a contract after training camp ends, I won't argue with that. I can see Dak putting a stop to it, giving him to in a training camp, and after that, it's over with. I put the 2 weeks on there into the season just because Cowboys put shit off. But like I said, I won't argue with anybody says that it has to be by the end of training camp. I can go with that. But either way, they'll have him sign. CeeDee Lamb will be signed too. I'll touch on CeeDee Lamb's contract just a little throughout this video, but not much. But there's some philosophies, and I say that it's actually dumb philosophies of why they're not going to sign him, that they're going to wait to the end of the year to sign him. And this is kind of becoming a popular thing. Like, they're just going to wait till the season's over, then they're going to work on their contract. Let me tell you something, y'all. If Dak Prescott gets to the end of the season without a fucking contract, he's not signing with the Cowboys. I mean, not right away anyways. He's hitting free agency. He's going to hit free agency. He's going to wait because the season ends, say, middle of January. We don't go playoffs, or we can go to playoffs one and done like we always are. There's March 15th, I think, somewhere around there's the start in the league year, and that's when all the free agency starts, somewhere in there. So they basically have 2 months to sign that before he hits free agency. If he gets it in a year, they're not signing him. He's not going to sign without hitting free agency, and he's going to hit it, and he's going to get some big fucking offers. So the Cowboys are going to have to, if they think what they're about to pay, what they're going to have to pay him before this season, in this offseason, it's not going to touch shit to next offseason. There's one side saying that they're going to do it because he has to prove it. Let's say he does prove it. Let's say he goes out and he proves it and he goes to the Super Bowl, wins it, or even gets to the Super Bowl, or gets to the NFC Championship game, whatever y'all fucking quote unquote call prove it. Then what? Do you honestly, just hypothetically, they go to Super Bowl, he wins the Super Bowl. Do you fucking honestly think in the next 2 months after winning, and that actually wouldn't be that long, a month and a half, you honestly think that Dak is going to sign a contract with the Cowboys, knowing that he is a top 10 quarterback, and he is a top 10 quarterback for all you fucking dipshits out there? And some of you know who in fuck I'm talking to. You honestly think a top 10 quarterback, franchise quarterback, is going to fucking give up hitting free agency to sign with the Cowboys? Ain't no fucking way. The Cowboys would have to make an offer to even a Dak fan like me that would say, holy shit, what the fuck? It would have to just be an over the top, just huge fucking contract for him to even consider signing it. I mean, he would be a free agent, top 10 quarterback coming off a fucking Super Bowl win, heading into free agency. Let's just say he doesn't prove it, that he just gets to the playoffs again and they lose their first game. Even then, you have a top 10 quarterback, franchise quarterback, hitting free agency. That's fucking never happened. Never. Name me one fucking quarterback. His closest comp would probably be Kirk Cousins, and it's not a close comp. It's just his closest comp. Never in history has a free agency, top 10 free agency franchise quarterback ever been able to hit free agency and go and let multiple teams bid on him. So my point is this: if he gets to the end of contract, proving it or not proving it, he's not fucking signing until he hits. He's going to go test the free agency market. Like I said, whether he wins the Super Bowl or doesn't win the Super Bowl or just makes the playoffs, he knows he's getting fucking paid, and he's going to get paid a lot. So again, if he gets to the end of the fucking free agency without a free agency, end of the season without a contract, he's hitting free agency, and there's no reason for him not to. So this idea that people have, well, we'll just wait and then we can, we have 2 months to sign him. No, you don't. He's not going to sign. His agent ain't going to let him sign. He's not going to sign. There's no reason. He's about to do something that no other quarterback has ever done in history, a top 10 quarterback, and that's hit free agency. So why would he sign? The only reason he would sign if the Cowboys over the top pay him and just get silly with the fucking contract. That's the only reason he would sign. It would have to be something that him and his agent looked at, was like, yeah, we're not getting that on the open market, and they take it. Other than that, he's not signing. He's going to hit free agency. So the prove it thing, that's fucking stupid as fuck. Because if he does prove it, there is no way in hell he's signing. He's not coming off a fucking Super Bowl win or Super Bowl appearance or even NFC Championship game appearance and fucking sign him with the Cowboys when he's going to fucking hit free agency. So that makes no fucking sense. And there's other ones who think somehow it helps our cap. The Cowboys are going to wait because if we sign him next year, it helps the cap. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Y'all need to get more cap savvy, because that makes no goddamn sense. If for some reason, if they was to sign him this year, if there was no rollover on the cap, then I can see it. But there's rollover. So if you sign him and say, I got the numbers, I'll tell y'all later, but hypothetically, like $20 million of cap space, by dropping his base salary down this year to like $1.25 million, and you just take the rest of it and spread it out, okay, you're saving $20 million of cap space. But that cap space, you're not going to use it this time of the year anyways. You're rolling that shit over. So that $20 million fucking dollars going over is going to cover what you just spread out. It's definitely going to cover the $5 million probably that you put on next year. So it doesn't really, I don't know. I had a conversation with somebody the other day and reading words and debating on Twitter, at least for me, or on X. A little odd because you can't explain it, and they can't explain it to me. I was misunderstanding maybe. But yeah, I would love to have a conversation with somebody. If you want to come on here, I'll send you the link. Get with me, and that you honestly think that, and maybe you can explain it to my face better. Because that just makes no fucking sense. It doesn't. Whether you sign them this year or whether you sign them next year, as far as cap purposes goes, it all kind of works out. I mean, you're rolling the money over anyways. That $20 million doesn't disappear. It just goes on. It just rolls over, and you can cover it fucking next year. So I don't really understand that. That's dumb as fuck too. But even then, if you wait for cap purposes, once again, I go back to the first thing, and he goes one and done in the playoffs again, he's not signing with the Cowboys in the 2 months that you had to sign him. There is no fucking reason for him to sign, y'all. He's about to do something that no other franchise quarterback has done. He's about to hit free agency. No other top 10 quarterback has ever done this. Again, Kirk Cousins is the closest comp, but he's not he's not close. He's just the closest one. And depending on what you're talking about, the fucking year first year he signed with Minnesota, He wasn't as good as Dak and wasn't even close to what Dak is now. And this past one, he's fucking coming. He's 35 and coming off a ruptured Achilles, and that motherfucker still got $40 million. So yeah, there's no fucking reason for Dak to sign with the Cowboys in the 2 month period between the time the season ends to the time the free agency starts. It would be done. There's going to be 6, 7, maybe 8 teams bidding on his services, and he's going to get fucked. Now he might end up. He might still end up signing with the Cowboys. Maybe the Cowboys come back and like, all right, we'll match whatever the biggest offer they gave him. Maybe they'll match. But it goes back to this. Then why the fuck are you waiting? Like it does not help. You are costing yourself more if you wait. Even if he does sign with you, just point blank with him even getting no offers, the money goes up regardless. And then when he's on free agency and you got other teams offering his money and you got to outdo that money, and it makes none of this makes sense. And nobody has gave me a good example of why it would benefit the Cowboys. Sometimes I think y'all convince yourself that because it gets so confusing why the Cowboys haven't signed yet. So y'all try to make up fucking reasons why. There's only one reason. Cowboys just aren't good at doing this kind of shit. There's nothing else to explain it. Fucking prove it. That doesn't explain it. That's dumb if you try to make him prove it, because if he fucking does, he's not signing with you. And if he doesn't, then so what? So this is my point. If he doesn't fucking prove it, dude, the Cowboys are liar. You didn't prove it. You only one and done in the playoffs. We're just gonna let you walk. Then what? I mean, you just I don't know what you do. I mean, by then you done probably gonna have signed CeeDee Lamb. So you just signed a fucking high-priced wide receiver. You let your franchise quarterback walk, and you have no draft capital. It's next year to pick up a quarterback. Do you trade Michael Parsons? I'll tell you this. If right now, if that's their plan, it's to sign Dak for a premium and they're willing to let him walk, then fuck it. I'm not for this, but fuck it. Let him walk. Don't sign him. Don't sign CeeDee Lamb. Start looking for a trade partner right now. Try to trade CeeDee Lamb and start looking for Michael Parsons, or at least one of them. Sign CD and trade Micah. Fucking sign Micah and trade CD. At least trade one of them fuckers, preferably Micah, because you're going to get more from Micah than you will CD, just how it works. So you can get draft capital to get a fucking quarterback. Because signing CeeDee Lamb and next year signing fucking Michael Parsons, when you let Dak walk, you're pissing yourself. You're not doing anything. You're not. It proves no point. You just got worse. Your team literally just got. Anytime you lose a top 10 quarterback, anytime you lose a franchise quarterback, your team does not improve. You're not improving that team. You are fucking making that team worse. We freaked the fuck out about fucking losing the guys we did this year. You lose your franchise quarterback, and then you're fucked. So I don't, like I said, none of this makes sense to me. None of it makes sense to me. Especially especially the part of the prove it deal, and even the worst one is the ones that try to tell me for cap purposes, it's better to sign next year. No, it's not. Again, I'll invite anybody on here. I'll give you a link and we'll fucking debate it on here to come on and debate me and tell me why exactly, how in the fuck does that work? All right, because I'm somewhat savvy on the fucking cap, but maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm because what people's explaining to me, I'm not missing nothing. Y'all just don't understand the cap, and it just makes no sense. There's rollover, so as long as there's rollover, what a lot of y'all saying does not matter. I know somebody said they don't want no money. They want the 2021 contract done. So they just want to let them play it out and start over in a new contract. Well, that's just stupid as fuck. I mean, what sense does that make? Sign them now. Yes, you're rolling over $20 million of this contract that's going to be in the future years. But that $20 million is future years, that $20 million is going to be on this year's cap. You can roll that shit over. So you can earmark that shit, $5 million every year. Just earmark $5 million. This is for us rolling over Dak's contract. So that $20 million will roll over, that $5 million, we're going to cover that year, that $5 million that it fucking went on that year. Then the next year, roll over, earmark that another $5 million for Dak. So it does not fucking matter. You're saving it and you can roll it over. So I don't know. Some of y'all, I don't know. Get savvy on the cap. There's Kay Adams had Charles Haley on. And Charles Haley talked about how the bill came due and shit like that. y'all, man, this, like I said, cap persons, and I'm not talking shit about Haley, but I mean, Haley's a player. Uh, not all players exactly understand exactly how the cap works. Um, the bill didn't come due. Right now, they have $12 million of cap space. That's with Dak's $55 million hit and CD Lamb $17.9 million hit. So they still have $12 million cap space. So the cap ain't due. The bill's not due. I mean, we have cap space. We have Dak's fucking contract and CD Lamb you can extend and create even more cap space. They have $63 million of cap space in 2025. I repeat that, $63 million fucking dollars of cap space. That's with the projected cap of going up to 260 million, which is only 5 million. All right, the cap's going to go up more than that. Now, before this lawsuit, that the direct TV and shit, it might not go up as much as it would have in a normal year. It's still going up, and it's still going to go up more than $5 million. But just for this purpose of this conversation, we'll say it's not. We're going to say it's only going to go up $5 million. And that's also that $63 million. That's also with Dak not signing a new contract and him counting $40 million on dead money next year. Excuse me. Got a cough here, buddy. All right. At the same time, they have $63 million of cap space. They also have the 8th most players signed in 2025. 8th most. That's a lot of players. There's only 7 teams that have more players under contract. Cowboys have 61 players under contract for the 2025 season. All right. And they still have $63 million of cap space left for next year. The 4 teams above them that have more cap space, they also have less players signed, anywhere from 12 to 23 players. Think about that. One team, I don't know what it is. I didn't write it down. But there's one team that has 23 less players signed. They got more cap space, but they got a lot fucking more work than we do to fucking sign players. So the 5th most cap space with the 8th most players signed, that's fucking good. That's not bad. Your bill ain't due. You're not in fucking cap hill, the mythical cap hill that everybody fucking worries about. If you extend Dak and Lamb, you'll gain around 28 million. That's not exact, plus or minus a couple $1 million. But you're going to gain around $28 million. All right. And you can roll that over, which not all of it's going to be used. Let's just hypothetically say they use $8 million of it somehow. So that takes you down to 20 million. All right. You still can roll 20 million over. All right. But they roll the full 28 million over, just hypothetically, that they don't use none, and roll the full 28 million over. They could extend. That's 28 million. That's going to be C3, 73, 83, like 97 million. They have the most cap space in the NFL. If you sign Dak and you sign CD Lamb and you save that cap space, you're going to roll over, and there will be no team in the NFL that has more cap space than the Dallas Cowboys in 2025. And they're going to have 61 players signed already. Well, now if you sign Dak and Lamb, that's 63 players signed. You can even sign fucking Micah Parsons, which is going to take some of your cap space, probably about 10 million of cap space. So you can sign all 3 of the motherfuckers tomorrow, and you still net $18 million of cap space. You still save $18 million of cap space if you sign all 3 of them fucking players. If you decide not to sign Parsons for whatever reason, don't matter to me, you save 28 million. If you sign Parsons, it's going to take some of it off, and you'll save 18 million. Right? And even if you roll that over, I think you're going to have the most cap space or the second most cap space. So the fucking bill coming due, that stupid shit, that bill coming due, I don't understand why the bill ain't due. The bill very rarely comes due. Rarely. And nothing is Philadelphia Eagles right now. If you count kickers, I don't, but if you count kickers, they have 8 top 5 contracts, 8 of them. If you kick the kicker out, which I do, they have 7 top 5 paid contracts. And Cowboys fans and Jerry Jones is selling y'all a bill of goods. Like we can't do it. Like that. This is just going to cost us so much. You can have 8 to 10 players, 8 to 10 top 10, top 5 contracts, and get away with it. With no cap hill. Cap hill's a myth. Cap is real. I've always said it's real. I mean, there's a reason they fucking said it every year. It is real, but it's very easy to manipulate. But cap hell is 100% myth. I go back to 2021 when the fucking cap dropped. It dropped 20 million, whatever it was. No team had to cut any significant players. I remember Cowboys content creators coming on because Eagles and Saints was like 67 million over, one was 97 million over, like a shitload over. And they was in, I think Kansas City Chiefs was like 40 million over or some bullshit. And Cowboy content creators was constantly trying to pick them apart, like who can we trade for, who they going to cut, we can pick up. And I'm like, nobody, because they're not going to have to cut anybody significant. You can manipulate that shit. Now, what meant this? Hoover was 97 million under. I think it was the Saints. Me, I'm just a regular Joe. I couldn't get them under. I could get them to about 10 million over. But the fucking Eagles, I got them under easily. I got them under. And if I can do it, they goddamn people who work the cap all the time, they goddamn sure can do it. So, and what happened? Saints or the fucking Eagles, they have to cut nobody significant. Think about that. The cap dropped tremendously. $97 million over the cap, and they didn't have to cut one significant player. So don't fucking tell me cap hell is fucking real. It ain't real. Anyways, getting back to Dak. Dak's gonna sign. He'll sign. He's gonna back in February, I had it at 4 years, 240 million, that's 60 million AAV, average annual value. I had 192 million guaranteed and 127 million fully guaranteed. Some of that's kind of changed up. I'll share a screen it for y'all while I'm talking here. I kind of dropped it a little bit. That was totally going on Joe Burrow's contract, everything, except I dropped the AAV a little bit because the AAV on Joe Burrow's contract this year would be, I think, 61 or 62 million a year. So I dropped that a little bit, and then I ended up dropping the guarantee and the fully guaranteed. But anyways, here it is right here. This is what I posted in February. In February, I had it as 4 years, 240 million, 60 million AAV, 192 million guaranteed, and 127 million fully guaranteed. But in June, I dropped it. Sorry about that, y'all. In June, I dropped a little bit. I still have the 4 year, 240 million, but I dropped the guaranteed to 180 million and the fully guaranteed to 125 million. So there's that. I don't think it switched on the screen. Yeah, it didn't switch on the screen. But anyways, I'll share it again. But yeah, I dropped it to that. So that's what I think it will end up being. This is not good radio or good TV, sitting here stuttering through it. But there's another one. Yeah, 4 years, 240 million, 180 million guaranteed. That's what I think it'll be 125 million full guaranteed. If for some reason decides to sign a 5 year because they request it and he says, okay, then it's going to be 5 years, 300 million, 225 million guaranteed, and 156 million fully guaranteed. Anything less is taking a team-friendly deal. But he can milk it and get even more. Because he will on free agent on the open market, he'd get more. But anyways, I don't really worry about it because he's going to get paid and he'll be before the end of training camp. I think somebody said the other day that if he doesn't sign by the time they get to training camp, he's going to call it off, or he won't be signed. I won't get into that, but I would say I don't believe that one fucking bit. Then that's all I got to say about that. I say they'll have all the training camp to get him signed. Like I said, and if they don't, one of two things will happen. Either he won't be a Cowboy next year, or the Cowboys going to highly have to overpay. This ideal that they can just wait to the end of the season and no problem. They can sign him in 2 months That's not going to happen. I know he loves being a Cowboy. All right. But this is generational type money. And his last contract was too. He can get another big fat one, bigger than one he had before. He's not going to pass up that opportunity to at least go see what's on the open market. He'd be dumb not to. That'd be ignorant not to. Especially seeing how Cowboys just constantly making them wait, constantly fucking putting them off, constantly disrespecting them, constantly talking about how they can only do so much, because they got to pay Dak, and he sees the Eagles just constantly fucking signing players without fucking any regard to the cap. Is like, fuck it, we can do it. Other teams are doing it. So yeah, he'd be dumb not to check out the open market if he gets to the end of the year without a contract. But I don't think he will. I think they'll get it wrapped up here in the next few weeks, and we'll be talking about the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Oh yeah, that's another thing is, I mean, if Trevor Lawrence is getting the deal he's got, and then fucking the reports are that fucking Jordan Love's probably about to get $56 million. He's going to become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. It's going to happen. That you expect Dak to get $60 million. I mean, that's just if there's anything less than $60 million, all you fuck nuts out there that fucking thinks players should take team friendly deals. If he takes anything less than that, he just took a team friendly deal, a highly free team friendly deal. As far as CD Lamb, I'll touch on CD Lamb real quick. I think he'll get Jordan. I think he'll get Jefferson's money. Probably $1 million less, maybe $34 million. It wouldn't surprise me if he got $1 million more, if he asked for $1 million more and he got it. From reports, I think people saying he wants 32 to 34, which again makes no sense why the Cowboys haven't done it yet. I just don't get that. It's like that's his market. Fucking pay him, especially if he's 32. That's even below his market. But yeah, he'll get his deal done too before the end of training camp. He probably get his done within a week. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, 32, 34 million, but it wouldn't surprise me if he matches him 35 million. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up getting $1 million more, just become, just to be the highest paid player. But I'll look for around 34 million. He might take less, like 32, 33, but get more guaranteed, more fully guaranteed, or maybe the same or close same, but he gets it quicker. He gets it more in the first year, more in the second year. And then Jordan, I haven't looked at Jordan Jefferson's contract. I haven't studied it. So I don't know how much of that guaranteed or fully guaranteed he's getting in the first year or first 2 years. But it might be something like that, a little less, but more upfront. So we'll see how it works out. But I'm not worried. I'm not worried about CeeDee Lamb getting signed, and I'm not worried about Dak getting signed. I believe both of them before the end of training camp, both will be set 4 or 5 year contracts, and they're going to be with us next 4 or 5 years. But yeah, like I said, look on my couple notes I took. Yeah, waiting on Dax to prove it. Again, I'll touch on that one more time. That's just dumb. If he doesn't prove it, what are you going to do? Fucking cut him and let him go? Have no draft capital to get another one. That's kind of dumb unless you're willing to trade fucking Parsons and get some draft capital, or CD and get some draft capital. That makes no fucking sense. It would be dumb to do. If he does prove it, then if he goes out and wins the Super Bowl or goes to the Super Bowl, he's goddamn sure not going to not hit free agency. I mean, he'll be a Super Bowl winning or Super Bowl participant quarterback coming off a Super Bowl appearance, and why wouldn't he hit free agency? And like I said, even if he doesn't do nothing, one and done, it's pretty simple. That gets to the end of a season without a contract, he's hitting free agency. Whether he signs with the Cowboys or not, I can't guarantee you that. I don't know. We'll see how that works out, but he will hit free agency. And for the Cowboys to keep him, no, if they think they're overpaying this year, they're going to highly, highly have to overpay him next year, because he will have a nice size market. He will have 6 to 8 teams bidding on his services next year, and more than happy to fucking pay him what he wants, and even more than what he wants. All right, this video went about 15 minutes longer than I wanted to. Like I said, check me out all the places below. Dallas Cowboys U1 on X, Facebook groups, Dallas Cowboys chat, Spotify, and all that. Dallas established the pass, YouTube established the pass. But yeah, I'm gonna probably record a couple more videos tonight. Fucking try to get them all out. If not, I'll do a couple tomorrow. I want to get all of it out before training camp starts. But anyway, man, y'all enjoy. I'm gonna do another one on our record and all the doom and gloom y'all have. Try to perk y'all up a little bit and convince y'all it's not as bad as y'all think it is. I'm not saying we're going to do anything in the playoffs, but we still have a good team. I'll end it at that. All right. Well, y'all enjoy yourself, man. Hit that like if you like the video. Hit that dislike if you don't. Leave a comment. I'd rather you leave comments. Well, I mean, I want the likes and dislikes too, but leave a comment. That helps me on my algorithm on YouTube. Anyways, y'all enjoy yourself.
And I've come to realize that I don't